Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host. It is Thursday, November the 14th, and it's a beautiful day out. We had a lot of clouds, a lot of rain yesterday, and actually some pretty intense storms that came through. But it has made way for some gorgeous weather. We're going to take a look outside in just a little bit, and we're going to take a quick look at our forecast as well. 2:30 today, though, our first alert weather team will be in here to give you an in-depth look at the forecast. If you're tuning in on our app or on our website, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're watching through any of our social streams, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or even TikTok, which we do stream on from time to time, thank you so much for tuning in there as well. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments section. We also already have Magnolia Bell here tuning in on YouTube saying good afternoon. So, good afternoon to you as well, Magnolia Bell. And let's see, we have Janet saying hi, Kara, and everyone joined in. Hope everyone having a great day or a good day. Hope you are too as well, Janet. Thank you for watching. Janet's a friend of mine from Meridian, so I'm very happy to have her on. So before we jump into the news, and I see somebody's already asking a question here about a story that we posted about, but let's go ahead and take a look outside real quick. Looking over the Jackson Prep field, beautiful blue skies out there. And let's take a look somewhere else. I also want to remind you guys, if you go to our website and you click on the First Alert Weather tab there at the top, you'll be able to see not only the forecast, but you can take a look at the sky cams that we have. Let's take a look out over Byram right now. Beautiful skies there as well. Not a lot of traffic on the interstate, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. We're going to take a more in depth look at the forecast in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and jump into the news. Like I said, we have someone already asking a question about a situation. They asking, what is a Leo? And someone's answered them. Actually, a Leo is a law enforcement officer. So overnight, a parole officer, was involved in an accident on I-55. They're currently recovering in the hospital after being in this accident. So Chief Nick McClendon, let me pull this up for you. Chief Nick McClendon says that the officer was dealing with an accident that had happened and was waiting for a tow truck. I'm sorry, this is on I-20. He was sitting in his vehicle when with the blue lights on when another car hit him. The chief says that both the driver and the officer were taken to the hospital to be checked out. Thankfully, though, they both look to have only minor injuries. If we get any updates on this story, we'll pass it along to you. We told you a couple of days ago about a video that surfaced on Facebook of a woman in Vicksburg being brutally beaten by three other people there. And it was a violent attack that was streamed there on Facebook. Well, we can say now that all of the individuals that were beating on this woman have now been taken into custody. So officials are saying that Charles Doss, a 27-year-old from Vicksburg, is facing aggravated assault charges after an incident that happened at the apartment complex that he lives in on November the 9th. His bond is set at $100,000. Along with him, we have 24-year-old Reneji Hill and 33-year-old Marcus Ross, both also from Vicksburg, have been arrested in this case. They're both facing aggravated assault charges, and their bonds have been set at $75,000 each. All three of these people were taken into custody uh, on Tuesday of this week. And if you saw the video, it was a very hard video to watch. It was a hard thing to see happen to another individual. And I'm glad that these people who were responsible for beating this woman, they were taken into custody. Also, here in Jackson, a woman who is wanted in Virginia has been taken into custody as well. So authorities are saying that Akia Faison, age 33, has been on the run for more than a year and a half before she was found working at a business located on West North Side Drive. She is accused of being involved in a deadly armed robbery that happened in Portsmouth, Virginia. This happened back in March of last year. During the robbery, two men were shot and they did later pass away. Faison is facing several serious charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. Right now, she is in the Madison County Jail where she is waiting to being waiting to be taken back to Virginia to go to court there and to be faced with these charges. We also told you earlier this week about a shooting that happened in front of the Burlington Coat Factory that ended up being a Facebook marketplace sale gone wrong. People had met there to allegedly buy something from an individual who had something to sell on Facebook Marketplace, and they tried to rob him. A shooting happened, two people were shot, and someone was taken into custody. And it brings a lot of questions up of where are safe places? How can you safely do transactions that occur online, like social media pages and things like that? And this is actually just one example of a problem that has happened multiple times, or at least two that we know of here in the metro area. So, law enforcement officials report that it is becoming increasingly common for either the buyer or a seller to exploit the situation, which can lead to potential harm. To help you avoid dangerous situations, we have several local law enforcement agencies encourage you to utilize their stations as a safe place to meet up.
Any police department would say, please come use our parking lot, and because it's safe. But people need to use common sense. Don't go somewhere that's strange or weird and try to do these transactions, because a lot of them may go right, but sooner or later it's going to go wrong.
And we have seen two examples of those sales going wrong here in the metro area. First, with one that happened at a McDonald's where a person was shot when they were thinking that they were going to finalize a car sale that happened or started on Facebook Marketplace. And then this second one that happened at Burlington Coat Factory, outside of the Coat Factory, rather. So while if you go to meet at a safe place that is like a law enforcement parking lot, police office, a sheriff's department, something like that, they're not going to get involved in the transaction unless it's absolutely necessary. But they will be there and be present to help make sure that it can go safer and the area is monitored. So going forward, if you do sales like this, set a meetup place that is in a safe spot, such as a police station, fire station, sheriff's office, things like that. Because even meeting in a well lit parking lot, such as the Burlington Coat Factory parking lot or even the McDonald's parking lot, has turned out to not be a very safe option, at least for a couple of people. So just try and maybe do a police officer or a police department in the future if you do those. Now, Governor Tate Reeves is highlighting yesterday, he highlighted in a press conference that he had more than $110 million in investments, and they're all tied to economic development here, including workforce training. So, yesterday, Reeves mentioned that the funding aimed at getting sites ready is really giving the state an edge in landing new economic, let me turn that down for you guys, a new economic development projects. He also pointed out that the Madison County mega site, which is already full, is a great example of how important it is to have the right infrastructure in place. According to him, being, quote, shovel ready has really helped bring in big projects.
All of these are home run projects, and we're proud of every single one of them. But we're also proud of what we may consider at the state level a single or a double, that in those communities around our state are considered home runs or grand slams for each of the small communities around Mississippi.
So Reeves stood alongside a map identifying site locations that are being developed through both state and federal grant funding. Let me pause on this for you so you can see it. We've got Lowndes County, 3 sites in Kemper County, Leake County, Noxubee, Holmes, Yazoo County. And let me back this up just a little bit so that we can see if we can look at what is planned for our area. Here we go. It's a full map. So we got one area in Lauderdale, a couple over in Newton County, Scott County has one, a couple of places in Rankin County, 3 sites in Hinds County, 1 in Compaya. So, I mean, you can see we've got a lot of economic development sites planned for around the entire state. Hopefully this will bring more jobs into our state and bring more revenue into our state. So we'll keep you updated on how this is going as the shovel-ready areas progress. So Jackson Water has signed a long-term contract teaming up with Jacob Solutions to handle the day-to-day operations at the city's two water treatment plants that for the next decade, so next 10 years. They're going to take care of the plants, the wells, and the storage tanks. So, according to Jackson Water's third quarter report, they've made some good strides in cutting down the amount of water loss due to leaks and other issues. So, in September, they produced about $42 million of water, million gallons of water per day, which is a drop from around 58 million gallons at the same time last year. So that's actually very good. Their target is to get that number down to 25 million gallons so they can shut down the J.H. Felwell water treatment plant. They also mentioned that they've seen an uptick in bill collections. They've sent out bills totaling $9 million and have so far managed to collect $6.2 million. And Jackson Water has spent just under $238 million on improving the water system in Jackson. Speaking of Jackson Water, they are the sponsor for WLBT Plus, so let's hear from them.
Time for a neighborly tip from Jackson Water. Is it okay to pour fats, oils, and greases down the drain if I run hot water?
No!
What if I run the garbage disposal?
No!
How about if I use dish soap at the same time?
No!
Instead, hang on to a few containers to store and toss old cooking fat and grease once you're done. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thank you to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. Before we jump into more news, go on, we're going to be actually talking about the bribery scandal that's happening here in Jackson with leaders here. And could there be a fallout with the Bar Association for DA Owens? We're going to look at that in just a minute. But first, let's look at our forecast and see what we have going on outside right now. If we look over the temperatures, beautiful temperatures in the 60s, upper 60s. We got 70 in Monticello, but it is still looking like great temperatures to get outside. Maybe if you haven't had lunch yet, go sit outside and enjoy the sunshine and the cooler temperatures. If we look at our radar, you can see we don't have any rain in the area, and we're not really expecting any rain over the next few days. Come to our 12-hour forecast, you can see we're going to drop down to 48 overnight. Can you guys believe that? Finally, maybe cooler weather is coming to stay, knock on wood. But we're going to be dropping down to 48 overnight. And if we look at the next 7 days, not the next 12 hours, but the next 7 days, it's a beautiful weekend on tap for us. Our temperatures are, inching up just a little bit, but they'll be dropping back down again next Wednesday, just in time for Turkey Day, because you don't want to go like be outside sweaty and, whatever on Thanksgiving. You want to have a nice, cool fall day that is perfect for backyard football and cooking a turkey and naps on a front porch swing or something like that. So it's going to be a nice fall-like feel for Thanksgiving next week and leading up to it. Like I said, we got a few warm-ish days, not a lot of rain in the forecast, so it's going to be a really nice week. So let's look at the Jackson bribery scandal and what could happen with this. With the DA, with Hinds County DA Jody Owens. So he has 8 federal charges that are hanging over him. But even though he has those federal charges, he is not required to quit his job or to stop his daily duties as the DA, at least not until this case is sorted out, whether he pleads, finds a plea deal, pleads guilty, which he has pled not guilty, gets charged as guilty in the court, or if he resigns. So there is no specific rules here in the state of Mississippi about when an attorney can be disbarred or even have their license put on hold, no matter how powerful they may be. I'm sorry, there are specific rules here in Mississippi for that. The state Supreme Court and the Mississippi Bar Association handle this by following what is Rule 6 and Rule 8 of their disciplinary guidelines. Rule 6 lays out what needs to happen for an attorney to be suspended or disbarred, which can only occur if they've been convicted or sentenced or if they take a plea deal. Rule 8 is less common, but can come into play if an attorney is seen as a threat.
In any instance where the bar might determine that someone is potentially a threat in that regard, there is a mechanism in place for that to be pursued under Rule 8 in the Rules of Discipline. But again, that is, I can't speak to the specific case, but there is a mechanism in place.
So with any case that the Supreme Court or the Bar Association looks at, it'll probably take a while before those rules actually kick in. So we're obviously going to continue to follow the Jackson bribery scandal. And I also want to point you back to our website. Let me pull this up for you guys so you can see it. If you go to our website, wlbt.com, right here, the page above where it says Wendy's Giant of the Week or whatever ad may pop up there, is Jackson bribery scheme. And if you click on that, you will be able to see all of the coverage that WLBT has done on this, read all the stories, and get up to date on it. So I encourage everyone to go and check out that page on our website, wlbt.com. Let's tell you about a new Choctaw casino that is going to be coming into Louisville. The Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians say that their new travel casino will be ready to open in November. So it's called the Crystal Sky Casino. It's going to be located there in Louisville. You can see a drawing or a rendering of it there. And now that's where they're working on it and getting it built. So this video is from construction earlier this year. It's going to feature slot machines, a sports book lounge, restaurant, fueling station, and 3,000 square feet of retail space. The grand opening is set for December 19th, and a job fair for the new facility is happening tomorrow. So if it is something that you are possibly looking into getting employment with, if you know someone over in that area that is looking for a job, let them know. There's going to be a job fair tomorrow for the new casino that is being opened. And parts of downtown Jackson are going to be getting a fresh look thanks to a local partnership. That for you. Beautiful sign downtown Jackson with the Community Foundation for Mississippi is sprucing up Pascagoula Street Tunnel and the Welcome to Jackson mural. Over the next few weeks, they're going to be adding some brickwork and putting a fresh coat of paint on the mural, which would be very nice. So just a heads up for all of you, the tunnel that goes between State and Jefferson Streets is going to be closed for the next few days from 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. while they work on painting the walls and the ceiling. That is not the right video. It didn't come up. I apologize for that. So support for these projects is coming from the John and Lucy Shackelford Fund and the Imagine Downtown Fund. Looking forward to seeing a spruced up and freshly painted Welcome to Jackson sign. I love that sign. I think it is beautiful, and I'm looking forward to seeing it being spruced up. Now let's talk about the Dixie National Rodeo. Who is excited for that to come here to Jackson again? Back to Jackson. It's the 60th Dixie National Rodeo and Livestock Show that is going to be happening. The annual event does bring in thousands of people to the state fairground. And now I can show you this video that I had. Let me mute that for you. So most of the bronc and bull riding does happen in the Coliseum. The Kirk Fordyce Equine Center features events like quarter horse shows, cutting horse competitions, and team roping. Visitors have been complaining about broken seats and a scoreboard that doesn't work. Even though officials say the scoreboard isn't needed, there are almost 100 damaged seats that are needing to be dealt with.
What we've done is, unfortunately, we have to put a chair in there, which doesn't look very good. So we hope going forward, maybe this next legislature session, we can get some money and get this facility brought up to like it should be.
So the 60th annual Dixie National Rodeo, getting tongue-tied here. The 60th annual Dixie National Rodeo begins on February the 7th, and Ella Langley is going to be one of their artists. I know this because my 16-year-old is begging me to go see her, which we probably will. But so that's happening February the 7th. Looking forward to that coming back to Jackson. And coming here back into Rankin County, we have some softball signings that happened with some seniors over at Northwest Rankin. 5 seniors from the back-to-back state championship Northwest Rankin softball team have now made some college commitments. Good for them. So Brooke Smith is going to Georgia. Grace Wallace is going to Mississippi College. Carly Tubbs is going to Southern Miss. Tavia Archie, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name. She is going to East Central Community College, and Tylan Johnson is going to Mississippi Delta CC. This is the 5th straight year that every senior on the Cougars softball team has signed to play in college.
Incredible to have all 5 seniors sign, especially like to these level of schools, and it just shows how hard we work at practice and the stuff that we put into it. And we're just all so close. We've grown up playing together, and that's also a big part of it.
Since I was like little, I've always wanted to just play in college, like even if it was like Division I, JUCO, whatever. But going to one's like really cool, I think.
It feels good, like to just know that all the hard work I put in ever since I was a little girl has paid off. I mean, it's surreal. It's nice to know that everyone sees that what I dream of and what I put in, it goes to show.
Again, congratulations to all of those ladies there, all 5 of them heading off to college and getting those scholarship signing with the teams. I think that is a great thing for them. And congratulations. Look forward to seeing great things from you guys in the future. Well, that is going to be the end of WLBT Plus today. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Today at 2:30, our First Alert Weather team is going to be here to give you an in-depth look at the forecast. Even though we got some nice days over the next few days, we do have a disturbance that is down there in the Gulf that you're going to want to hear about. So make sure you're back at 2:30 today. Again, I'll be back tomorrow at 1. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you then. Bye.